Light and darkness are two faces of the same existence, dancing together on the invisible stage of creation. They are opposites that coexist, challenge each other, and shape one another. The chosen one, the one who carries the spark of truth in their heart, is inevitably a focal point of light that becomes visible in the vastness of shadows. And this light, though often small and timid at first, awakens the deepest fear in the darkness, for it has the power to reveal what was hidden. Darkness by nature does not wish to be seen. It thrives where there is ignorance, where eyes are closed, and where souls are still asleep. It is in the presence of a chosen one that the mask falls, the disguise dissolves, and what was once hidden is brought to the surface. Light is revelation. It does not need to shout or force its presence. It simply shines. And this simple act of existing, of emanating its truth, is enough to disturb the structures of darkness. Imagine a dark room, where silence is absolute, and shadow occupies every corner. When a torch is lit, even if small, the darkness recedes, uneasy and uncomfortable. It cannot coexist with light, for light is the very dissolution of shadow. So are the chosen ones, living torches, bearers of light that disturb what would prefer to remain hidden. But the enigma between light and darkness goes beyond this apparent battle. Philosophically, light cannot exist without darkness, and darkness could not be perceived without light. They are complementary like the two halves of a perfect circle, and together they teach souls how to grow. The chosen one, by coming into contact with darkness, does not do so by accident. Their role, often unknown even to them, is to bring transformation. Where there is light, there is the possibility of change, for light brings the awareness necessary for what is hidden to be healed, understood, and transmuted. However, darkness does not easily accept this transformation. It resists, fights, tries to persuade the chosen one to doubt their own light. It is an instinctive resistance, for darkness knows that once illuminated, it loses the power it holds. Dark forces rely on fear, doubt, and ignorance to survive, and it is precisely here that light operates, dissolving fear with courage, doubt with faith, ignorance with wisdom. Darkness fears the chosen ones because they are, by nature, catalysts for change, and change is something that darkness avoids at all costs. Yet there is a fundamental detail. Light does not need to conquer darkness with force. The mere presence of a chosen one, firm in their truth, their purpose, and their connection to the divine, is enough to shake the foundations of darkness. This happens because light, contrary to what many think, does not fight. It simply is. While darkness wears itself out trying to extinguish light, light just continues to shine, unshakable and constant. The journey of the chosen ones, then, is not merely an external battle. It is, above all, an internal journey. The darkness they encounter outside is often a reflection of the shadows that still reside within them. The challenges, the trials, and the moments of confrontation with dark forces are invitations to look within, to face their own shadows and transmute them into light. Because, in the end, the true power of a chosen one is not in their ability to eliminate darkness, but in their ability to integrate it, transforming it into a path of spiritual growth. The nature of the fear that darkness has of the chosen ones is therefore rooted in this understanding. The chosen ones represent what darkness fears most: healing, revelation, and transformation. Each time a soul awakens to its own light, a small part of shadow is dissolved, and universal balance is restored. Each chosen one who shines not only illuminates their own path but also opens doors for others to find their own light. But there is something deeper in this enigma. Light, even when small, carries within it the potential to become infinite. A single chosen one, by lighting their flame, can be the starting point for a transformation that resonates through generations, for light multiplies. While darkness divides and weakens, light expands and strengthens. This is why dark forces fear the chosen ones so much. They know that, in the end, light is inevitable. The chosen ones are not beings free of flaws or challenges. On the contrary, they are tested, refined, and shaped by the very darkness they face. Every trial is an opportunity for strengthening, a moment when their inner light grows even stronger. They learn that darkness is not an enemy to be destroyed, but a teacher that reveals where there is still work to be done. Every battle faced with courage is a step towards wholeness, a return to union with the divine frequency, where light and darkness find their perfect balance. The true strength of a chosen one lies in their ability to remain firm, even when surrounded by the densest darkness. While others allow themselves to be consumed by fear, the chosen one remembers their light. They understand that darkness may try to obscure the path, but it can never extinguish the truth that shines within them. This is the enigma of light and darkness. Shadow only exists because light exists, and it is light, in the end, that has the power to transform everything. The chosen ones carry within them a unique spiritual frequency, a vibration that sets them apart from everything around them. This frequency is like a beacon that shines in the darkness, even when they themselves do not perceive its intensity. It cannot be hidden or muffled, for it is part of the essence they carry within them, like a divine seal marked on their soul. It is this vibration that makes them visible to darkness, a light that, by its very nature, attracts attention and provokes reactions. Imagine a moonless night, where everything is shrouded in dense and impenetrable shadows. In this scenario, a single lit torch stands out, not because it wishes to be seen, but because its presence cannot be ignored. So are the chosen ones. They do not seek attention, but their energy, their inner light, becomes unmistakable in the realm of darkness. While many remain asleep in denser vibrations, the chosen ones vibrate at a frequency that dark forces instantly recognize. This unique spiritual frequency is not measured by external appearance, intellectual knowledge, or worldly skills. It is felt, perceived on subtle levels, like a silent melody that echoes beyond what the senses can capture. It is an energetic field that emanates love, truth, and purpose, even if the chosen one is still on their journey of self-discovery. Darkness, which depends on ignorance and chaos to perpetuate itself, perceives this vibration as a threat, for it carries within it the potential to transform, to illuminate, and to heal. The chosen ones are, therefore, like living torches amidst a vast mantle of darkness. Their light may be small at first, but it is enough to be noticed. And when it is noticed, darkness, in its reactive nature, moves to try to extinguish it. Not because it wishes to destroy them personally, but because their very existence is an interruption in the flow of what is dense, hidden, and stagnant. The chosen ones represent movement, transformation, and revelation, and darkness fears that which can expose it. This unique vibration is also linked to the mission that the chosen ones carry. Even before awakening to their true nature, they already feel that something within them is different. Many may spend years without understanding why they feel out of place, why they seem not to belong to the world in the same way others do. The answer lies in their frequency. They do not vibrate in harmony with the dense energies that dominate the environment around them. Their souls, from the beginning, resonate with something higher, purer, and this subtly but undeniably sets them apart. Darkness, upon recognizing this vibration, does not see just an ordinary human being. It sees the potential they carry. It perceives that the chosen one has the power to light other torches, to awaken other sleeping souls, and to inspire a collective transformation. And that is why the chosen ones face so many trials and challenges. It is not because they are weak or have failed at something, but because the very nature of their frequency attracts resistance. It is important to understand that this resistance is not a sign of defeat. It is confirmation of their light. The brighter the light, the greater the shadow it casts, and the greater the attention it attracts. The chosen ones, upon understanding this, stop questioning or blaming themselves for the challenges they face. They realize that their frequency, though it bothers darkness, is exactly what the world needs. And when they accept their light, when they embrace it without fear, they become unstoppable. Dark forces try to recognize and approach the chosen ones subtly, for they know they cannot extinguish their light directly. Instead, they seek to exploit their vulnerabilities, their doubts, and their moments of weariness. But even in this process, the unique frequency of the chosen ones protects them. It connects them to something greater, to a divine force that acts as an invisible shield. No matter how much darkness tries to approach, it can never touch the essence of a chosen one who remains firm in their faith and purpose. This spiritual frequency also creates a silent, but profound, impact on those around the chosen ones. Even those who do not understand what is happening feel something different in the presence of someone who vibrates in tune with the light. The energy of a chosen one brings peace where there is conflict, clarity where there is confusion, and hope where there is despair. This vibration is like a flame that does not limit itself to illuminating its own path but lights other candles around it. The chosen ones may often feel alone on their journey, especially when they realize that their frequency separates them from environments or people they once identified with. But this loneliness is, in fact, an important part of the process. It is in the silence, introspection, and separation from dense energies that they discover the strength of their light. And when they return to the world, they return stronger, aware of who they are and what they carry. The spiritual frequency of the chosen ones is a gift, but also a responsibility. It should not be hidden or diminished to please the world, for it exists precisely to fulfill a greater purpose. Each chosen one, by accepting their unique vibration, becomes a channel of the divine frequency, a living expression of the love and truth that the universe seeks to manifest on earth. The darkness recognizes them, yes, but it cannot defeat those who choose to remain in the light. For light, once lit, can never be extinguished. It may be challenged, it may be tested, but it will always find a way to shine because that is its nature. And the chosen ones, by embracing their frequency, become beacons that illuminate even the darkest nights. The challenges that arise on the path of the chosen ones are not mere coincidences or random misfortunes. They are part of a deep and intentional process, where darkness assumes a paradoxical role. It becomes tools of spiritual growth. While they may be perceived as enemies, the dark forces have, unexpectedly, a purpose in the awakening and purification of those who carry the light. It is through trials, obstacles, and internal battles that the chosen ones discover who they truly are. Darkness, unwittingly, serves as a mirror, reflecting where there are still shadows to face, where light still needs to penetrate. This dynamic, as painful as it may be, is essential for the strengthening of the soul. Like a sword forged in fire and shaped by precise hammer strikes, the chosen ones are refined by the difficulties they face. Each battle is an invitation to look inward, to confront fears, doubts, and limitations that still remain hidden. Darkness acts as a catalyst for transformation, forcing the chosen one to transcend their own barriers and access higher levels of consciousness and spiritual power. Think of a seed buried in the darkness of the earth. In order for it to grow and transform into a tree, it must break through the shell, cross the soil, and seek the light. This process, though invisible to the eyes, is marked by struggle and overcoming. The earth, which seemed to be the obstacle, becomes the environment that nurtures and strengthens the seed until it is ready to bloom. So are the trials that arise on the path of the chosen ones. They serve to nourish their faith, strengthen their determination, and expand their light until it can radiate in its fullness. Challenges are not signs of failure, they are signs of preparation. Each trial faced with courage and wisdom purifies the spirit, releasing layers of density accumulated through past journeys. Pain, resistance, and battles are, in fact, cleansing processes, where energies that do not resonate with the divine frequency are transmuted and released. The chosen one who understands this stops seeing challenges as punishments and begins to view them as sacred opportunities for growth and evolution. The role of darkness, therefore, is not only to resist light, but also to test it. For it is in the test that true strength is revealed. A small flame can be extinguished by a strong wind, but a flame that survives the storm becomes unshakable. Similarly, the chosen ones who go through trials with faith and perseverance become beacons whose light no darkness can ever extinguish. Each challenge overcome becomes a testimony of their strength, a reminder that no matter how intense the shadows may be, light will always find a way to shine. This purification journey is not comfortable, and it shouldn't be. The fire that burns impurities also warms and strengthens. The tears that fall during moments of doubt and pain are like rain watering the soil, preparing it for new fruits. The resistance of darkness, no matter how intense, is merely a reflection of the potential the chosen one carries. If darkness moves against you, it is because your light is perceived as a threat, as something that has the power to transform everything around you. There is an ancient wisdom that says, the greater the mission, the greater the trials. The chosen ones were not made for easy paths, for they were destined for something greater. They came to be bridges between heaven and earth, to bring light where there is darkness, to restore harmony where there is chaos. And to fulfill this mission, they must first be prepared. Each trial is a rite of passage, a step in the process that makes them ready for what they were called to do. It is important, however, for the chosen ones to maintain an elevated perspective during battles. Darkness will try to convince them that they are weak, that they are not worthy, that they do not have the strength to continue. But these are merely illusions, disguises created to divert the chosen one from their truth. The real battle is not against external darkness, but against the internal voices that try to sow doubt and fear. When the chosen one realizes this, They understand that victory does not lie in fighting shadows, but in remaining firm in their light, unshakable and constant. By going through the challenges, the chosen ones discover gifts that were previously dormant. They become more intuitive, wiser, more connected to the inner voice that guides them. The trials, far from destroying them, reveal their true power. They emerge from the battles not as victims, but as spiritual warriors, strengthened by faith and aware of the purpose they carry. Thus, darkness is not the end of the path, it is the beginning of a new stage. It serves to remind the chosen ones of their mission, to awaken the strength they may not have known they possessed. When we understand the role of shadows, we cease to fear them and begin to use them as leverage for our growth. After all, darkness only exists so that we can know the depth of our light. The chosen one who goes through trials with faith and courage becomes a source of inspiration to others. Their story, their battles, and their victories become living testimonies of the power of light amid the shadows. They don't need to speak much, their presence is enough. Those still walking lost in darkness look at them and see hope, a reminder that no matter how dense the darkness may be, there is always a way back to the light. And thus, the darkness, which once tried to extinguish them, becomes proof of their triumph. It served the purpose of shaping their soul, strengthening their faith, and preparing them for the greater mission that lies ahead. The chosen one, looking back, realizes that each battle was worth it, for it was through them that they discovered their true strength and their true light. The forces of darkness, when they perceive the light of a chosen one, do not approach in an obvious or direct manner. They know the laws of the universe and understand that they cannot extinguish a pure light with simple frontal attacks. The direct confrontation would be like trying to touch the sun without being consumed by its fire. Instead, darkness moves subtly, disguised like poison mixed with medicine, trying to infiltrate where vigilance is weakest. They exploit the gaps, vulnerabilities, and moments of fatigue to plant seeds of doubt, fear, and confusion. It is a silent but dangerous game, where the true battlefield is not the external world, but the heart and mind of the chosen one. This approach is almost imperceptible at first. Darkness arrives disguised as comfort, relief, or even seductive promises. It may present itself as opportunities that seem too good to be true, as sweet words masking corrosive intentions, or as advice from well-meaning people who, unknowingly, serve as channels for distorted energies. It's like a gleaming fruit that, when bitten, turns out to be bitter and toxic. It is the perfect trap. What seems harmless is, in fact, an attempt to divert the chosen one from their path and obscure their vision. One of the most common disguises of darkness is emotional manipulation. It plays with the chosen one's feelings, exploring their deepest weaknesses. It can manifest as persistent thoughts of guilt, inadequacy, or loneliness, planting the idea that they are not good enough or worthy of the purpose they carry. Who are you to carry this light? The shadows whisper during moments of vulnerability. But the chosen one must remember that these voices are illusions, distant echoes that only have power if they are heard and fed. Another disguise of darkness is distraction. The modern world is fertile ground for this tactic, as it offers countless ways to fragment attention and steal focus. The overload of stimuli, trivial concerns, incessant distractions, all serve to pull the chosen one away from their connection with the divine. When the mind is scattered, when energy is fragmented, light weakens and darkness takes advantage of this empty space. That is why presence, mindfulness, and spiritual discipline are essential tools on the journey of the chosen ones. Darkness also approaches disguised as ego. It whispers words of pride, feeding the illusion that the chosen one is superior to others for carrying their light. This is a dangerous trap, for it turns the sacred mission into a personal quest for recognition and validation. Ego, when inflated, opens the door for downfall, for it diverts the chosen one from the humility required to serve the greater purpose. True light does not seek admiration, it simply illuminates. The chosen one who understands this remains vigilant, always attentive to the subtleties of ego and ready to dissolve it through surrender and service. There is also the influence of deeper fears. Darkness knows that fear paralyzes, clouds the mind, and lowers the vibrational frequency. Therefore, it tries to infiltrate hidden insecurities, bringing to the surface memories, traumas, and old doubts. Fear is like a shadow that grows when we give it attention, but which disappears when the light of truth is cast upon it. The chosen one needs to remember that fear is often an illusion, a passing cloud that only seems large because it is too close to the eyes. When they choose to face fear with faith and courage, darkness loses its power. The metaphor of poison disguised as medicine aptly illustrates the tactic of darkness. They offer quick solutions to complex problems, easy paths that actually divert from the true purpose. Patience, integrity, and vigilance are essential shields against these temptations. The chosen one must cultivate discernment to perceive when something does not resonate with their truth, even if, at first glance, it seems harmless or attractive. They must ask themselves, does this bring me closer or farther from the divine frequency? Does this strengthen or weaken my light? These simple questions have the power to unmask the shadows and dissolve their influences. It is important to remember that darkness has no power over a chosen one who remains firm in their faith and connection to the divine. They may try to approach, they may whisper, they may try to divert, but they can never touch the essence of someone living in alignment with the light. The invisible shield of faith, prayer, and purity of intention is impenetrable. When the chosen one anchors in love, truth, and humility, they become untouchable, because the light that emanates from them becomes stronger than any shadow that tries to approach. Discernment is the key that allows the chosen one to identify the tactics of darkness and neutralize them before they gain strength. Discernment is not merely a skill, it is a gift that strengthens with spiritual practice, inner silence, and attentive listening to intuition. Intuition is like a golden thread connecting the chosen one's heart to the heart of the divine, and it never lies. When something is not right, the body feels it, the heart warns it, and the soul knows. The challenge is to listen to these signals, trust them, and act wisely, even when the easiest path seems tempting. No matter how much darkness tries to approach, the chosen one must remember that they only have the power they are given. Light is always stronger because it is eternal, unchangeable, and true. Shadows cannot exist where there is full light, and that is why the simple act of remaining true to one's own truth is already, in itself, an act of resistance and victory. The chosen one does not need to fight darkness with hatred or fear. They simply need to keep shining, for light, when authentic, dissolves even the densest darkness. Although darkness perceives the presence of the chosen ones, it hesitates to confront them directly. There is a deep reason for this, a mystery that resides in the universal balance. Light, when pure and self-aware, carries an immeasurable force, a shield that cannot be broken. Darkness recognizes this force because it emanates from the divine, from a source that transcends any illusion or shadow. This invisible shield that surrounds the chosen ones is woven through faith, connection with the sacred, and surrender to the greater purpose. It is the spiritual immunity of those who have understood that their true protection comes from something infinitely greater than themselves. Divine retaliation is a subtle yet real concept. It is not a punishment imposed with anger or violence. It is, instead, a natural consequence of universal laws. When a dark force attempts to directly attack a chosen one who is aligned with the divine frequency, it inevitably collides with the very light that protects them. It is like throwing a stone against the sun. It disintegrates before even getting close. The attempt to extinguish pure light results in the weakening of darkness itself, for light, in its unshakable nature, reflects what is sent toward it. Thus, dark forces, as they approach, recognize the risk of exposing their own fragility and being transformed by the light they were attempting to confront. For this reason, darkness avoids direct confrontation. They know the price to pay is too high. There is something in the spiritual frequency of the chosen ones that disarms them. It is like a mirror that reveals their true intentions and dissolves them. Darkness operates through illusion and manipulation, but the light of the chosen ones is like an unrelenting truth that unveils what was hidden. Where there is truth, lies cannot sustain themselves. Where there is light, shadow becomes powerless. This is why darkness prefers to approach subtly and disguised, trying to divert the chosen one through more cunning strategies, but avoiding direct confrontation with their essence. The invisible shield that protects the chosen ones is fed by faith. Faith is not blind belief, but a silent, unshakable certainty that the divine is present, that there is a greater force that sustains, guides, and protects. When a chosen one cultivates this faith, they become invulnerable. Darkness may try to sow fear, but fear finds no space where faith resides. Faith is like a sacred fire that consumes any attempt of interference, creating a field of protection that darkness cannot cross. This shield is also strengthened by connection with the sacred. The chosen one who prays, who meditates, who silences the mind and opens the heart, strengthens their link to the divine source. This connection is like a cord of light that keeps them anchored, even in the most intense storms. No matter how fiercely darkness tries to blow against them, the chosen one remains firm, like a tree whose roots are deeply intertwined with the soil of eternity. It is in this space of connection that they find their true strength, for they cease to fight alone and become a channel through which the divine acts. In addition to faith and connection, the very purity of intention of the chosen ones is a powerful barrier against dark forces. When their actions, thoughts, and words are guided by love, compassion, and truth, they become a reflection of the divine. Darkness cannot penetrate this field because purity repels density, just as oil does not mix with water. This purity does not mean perfection, but the sincerity of heart, the constant search for alignment, and the genuine desire to serve the light. That is why dark forces hesitate. They know that by trying to confront a chosen one directly, they will be facing something beyond them. The divine presence that surrounds those who vibrate in the divine frequency is like an invisible army, a wall that cannot be crossed. Even if the chosen one, in moments of doubt or fragility, feels vulnerable, this protection never abandons them. It is a gift that accompanies those who surrender to the path of light, a promise that they never walk alone. Darkness understands this truth better than the chosen ones themselves, and that is why they avoid direct confrontation. They do not fear the chosen one as an individual, but what they carry, the spark of the divine, the light that dissolves what is false and exposes what is hidden. For this reason, the greatest weapon of the chosen ones is the awareness of this protection, the understanding that the light that resides in their heart cannot be extinguished. The invisible shield of faith is strengthened with each prayer, each meditation, and each act of love. When a chosen one remains firm, when they refuse to yield to fear or doubt, they become untouchable. Darkness may surround them, may try to weaken them, but they will never be able to touch them. Light, when maintained with devotion, is an armor that no evil can penetrate. It is important to remember that the true confrontation is not a physical battle, but a spiritual one. The chosen one does not need to fight with darkness, for light itself does the work of dissipating it. Their role is to keep the flame burning, trust in divine protection, and remain true to their mission. When they understand this, no dark force can shake them, for they become an extension of the divine, a living manifestation of light that cannot be defeated. Darkness avoids direct confrontation because they know that, in the end, light always wins. Not because it imposes its presence, but because that is the nature of the universe. Truth dissolves illusion, love heals fear, and light dispels shadows. The chosen one who remains aware of this truth becomes a symbol of hope, a beacon whose presence is enough to bring clarity where there is confusion and light where there is darkness. Discernment is the most powerful weapon a chosen one can carry on their journey. It is the invisible filter that separates the true from the false, the sacred from the profane, what comes from light from what comes from shadows. It is through discernment that the chosen ones can navigate the world without losing their way, identifying the subtleties of darkness and protecting themselves from the influences that seek to divert them from their purpose. This ability to see beyond appearances, to perceive the truth that hides beneath the surface, is what makes the chosen one such a powerful force. Discernment is not just a skill, it is a gift that develops over time, through spiritual practice, inner silence, and connection with the divine. While the ordinary mind is easily deceived by masks, illusions, and distractions of the world, the soul of the chosen one learns to see with the eyes of the heart. It feels what words do not say, perceives what the senses do not catch, and intuitively recognizes when something is out of alignment with the divine frequency. Discernment, then, is like a compass that always points to the truth, even when the path seems shrouded in mist. However, this gift is not offered freely. It requires surrender, humility, and a constant search for inner wisdom. The chosen one who desires to develop discernment must, above all, silence the external noise. The world around them is filled with voices, opinions, information, stimuli that try to confuse their vision. To hear the voice of truth, they must learn to listen to silence. It is in silence that discernment flourishes because the mind quiets, and intuition can be heard clearly. The spiritual sensitivity of the chosen ones is the foundation of discernment. They perceive energies, vibrations, and intentions with a clarity that others may not understand. This is a gift, but also a challenge, for this sensitivity makes them more vulnerable to subtle influences operating in the invisible world. Darkness, knowing this, tries to disguise itself as light, presenting itself as help, comfort, or even as answers to the prayers of the chosen one. This is where discernment becomes vital. Only those who have eyes to see and ears to hear can identify the falsehood hidden under the guise of goodness. Imagine a beautiful, blooming garden. At first glance, everything seems perfect, but a closer look reveals weeds among the flowers, growing silently and consuming the nutrients of the soil. So are the dark energies. They blend with what is good, trying to go unnoticed, until they finally take root and occupy space. Discernment allows the chosen one to identify these weeds before they grow too large. They recognize them even when they are small and disguised, and have the courage to remove them, preserving the purity of their spiritual field. Discernment applies not only to external situations but also to the internal battle that every chosen one faces. Often, the subtlest forces of darkness manifest through one's own thoughts, fears, and doubts. The chosen one must learn to question the origin of these voices. Does this thought come from my light, or is it an illusion created to divert me? Discernment teaches to distinguish between the voice of the soul, which speaks with love and clarity, and the voices of the ego or shadows, which bring confusion, guilt, and fear. This gift, when developed, becomes an impenetrable defense. Darkness may try to approach, but it is unmasked before it even gets close. The chosen one feels when something is wrong, even without visible evidence. It is a silent warning, a feeling in the chest, an intuition that whispers, "Don't trust this." It's like a flame lighting the way, allowing them to move forward safely, without being deceived by the illusory shortcuts that appear along the path. The practice of discernment requires patience and constant vigilance. The chosen one cannot afford to act impulsively or make decisions based only on the superficial appearance of things. They must pause, breathe, and consult their inner wisdom before acting. Every decision made with discernment strengthens their connection to the light, pushes away negative influences, and aligns their life with the divine purpose they carry. But discernment also needs to be balanced with compassion. Not all people who cross the chosen one's path have dark intentions. Often they are simply lost, influenced by dense energies they don't understand. Discernment teaches to recognize the difference between those who need help and those who represent a risk. It allows the chosen one to act with love but without giving up wisdom. Forgive but maintain distance when necessary. Help but protect yourself when your light is threatened. It is important to remember that discernment is not judgment. Judging comes from the ego, classifying others as good or bad, worthy or unworthy. Discernment, on the other hand, is neutral and loving. It simply recognizes what is and what is not, without condemnation. The chosen one who develops this ability sees the world more clearly and acts with greater wisdom because they see beyond appearances and are not deceived by illusions. With time, discernment becomes as natural as breathing. It ceases to be a conscious effort and becomes an extension of the chosen one's being. Their spiritual sensitivity refines to the point where they can perceive the slightest change in energy in an environment, in a person, or even within themselves. They become a vigilant guardian of their own light, protecting it with wisdom and firmness. When darkness perceives this ability, it retreats. It knows that it cannot deceive those who see with the eyes of the soul. Discernment is like an invisible sword that cuts through lies, illusions, and disguises. It is the secret weapon of the chosen ones, the key that allows them to walk through the world without fear, secure in their connection to the divine. When discernment is present, the chosen one becomes unshakable. They do not let themselves be disturbed by the chaos around them because they know how to distinguish what is real from what is false. They are not seduced by empty promises because they recognize the truth in their heart. They do not get lost in doubts or fears because they trust in their connection to the light. With discernment, the chosen one not only survives trials but grows through them, becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the purpose they carry. Darkness, in its silent cunning, knows that one of the most effective ways to weaken the chosen ones is to approach them through personal relationships. Close people, whether family, friends, or partners, can, without realizing it, become channels for dense and manipulative energies. The chosen one, with their evident light, often becomes a mirror that reflects unresolved shadows in others. And in facing this reality, darkness finds an opportunity to sow conflicts, emotional weariness, and distraction along the path of the one seeking the truth. People around the chosen ones, driven by their own limitations or external influences, may act as unconscious instruments to block or divert the spiritual journey. This does not mean they are evil or that there is something wrong with them. Most of the time they are just carrying their own pains, fears, and unhealed energies. Darkness takes advantage of these gaps, whispering thoughts, inflaming egos, and creating situations where the chosen one is tested, not only in their strength but also in their wisdom. Imagine a warrior in battle. His greatest challenge is not always the visible enemies coming from outside, but those who emerge from within his own ranks, where he least expects them. So it is on the path of the chosen ones. Darkness, realizing that it cannot confront them directly, uses those close by to create disorder, sow doubt, or undermine the trust they have in themselves and in their mission. There are times when loved ones may doubt the dreams and purposes of the chosen one. They question their journey, their choices, and their faith, projecting their own limitations and fears. Their words, although often coming from a place of concern or love, may be like poisoned arrows that weaken the determination of the chosen one. Why are you doing this? This doesn't make sense. You won't succeed. These voices, when repeated, can infiltrate the mind and create cracks where doubt can grow. Darkness can also act more subtly, through negative emotions like envy, jealousy, or resentment. When a chosen one begins to shine, when their light becomes evident and their life starts to align with their divine purpose, it can trigger discomfort in those who have not yet found their own light. Envy is not often a conscious feeling. It arises from comparison, a sense of inadequacy, and the fear of being left behind. Darkness, sensing this, inflames these emotions, creating an environment where the chosen one finds themselves surrounded by resistance and veiled criticism. But the real test for the chosen one is not just recognizing these influences, it is knowing how to deal with them. The duality between love and wisdom is the balance that must be found. Loving those close by does not mean allowing their negative energies to invade your space. Compassion is needed, but it must be accompanied by discernment. The chosen one must learn to forgive, to understand the limitations of others, but also to protect their own light. This is not an act of selfishness, but of wisdom. Just as a flame needs protection from strong winds to keep burning, the chosen one's energy must be preserved so they can fulfill their mission. Setting healthy boundaries is an act of love. Love for oneself and for others. Often, people around the chosen ones act negatively because they themselves are in pain, confused, or lost. By setting clear boundaries, the chosen one not only protects themselves but also offers an opportunity for these people to look within themselves and begin their own healing process. Distance, when made with love and intention, can be a silent gift. Forgiveness, in turn, is one of the most powerful tools to neutralize the negative influences that arise through relationships. Forgiving is not about justifying what was said or done, but freeing oneself from the emotional weight these situations carry. When the chosen one chooses to forgive, whether it be themselves, others, or even the circumstances that hurt them, they break the ties that bound them to the dense vibrations of the past. Forgiveness is like a key that opens the heart and mind, allowing light to flow again. It is an act of freedom that dissolves the weight of resentment, anger, and guilt. Imagine a dark room from many years ago. The air is stagnant, the space closed and dense. Each grudge kept, each unhealed wound, is like another layer of shadow occupying that space. But then a window is opened, the light enters, the air is renewed, and what once seemed uninhabitable becomes a space of life again. Forgiveness is that window. It allows the past to be released, the heart to be cleansed, and the soul to breathe again. And in doing so, the chosen one transforms what was dense into something pure and renewed. The transformation of darkness into light is not a passive process. It requires surrender, patience, and a deep connection with the divine. The chosen ones learn that by facing shadows with love and compassion, they not only neutralize them but also transform them. They take the most painful experiences of their lives and turn them into wisdom that can be shared with the world. They become sources of healing because they know what it is to be wounded. They become guides because they know what it is to walk in the dark and find the light again. This power of transmutation is what sets the chosen ones apart. While many are consumed by darkness, they use it as fuel to rise even higher. The difficult experiences, challenges, and trials become the steps that bring them closer to their true essence. It is through the shadows that the light becomes even more visible. It is in the contrast that the beauty of the journey is revealed. The metaphor of light emerging from darkness can be found in nature itself. Think of the seed that is planted in the dark soil. It must break its shell, cross the darkness, and fight gravity to reach the surface, where it finally finds the light of the sun. The process is painful but necessary. Without the darkness of the earth, the seed would never have the opportunity to grow and bloom. Likewise, the chosen ones understand that the shadows are not an end, but a means, a place that, although uncomfortable, provides the perfect conditions for the flowering of their soul. Another example is the process of coal, which under intense pressure, transforms into a diamond. The darkness and pressure around it are not its end but the path that leads it to manifest its true beauty and value. So it is with the chosen ones. The most intense trials are those that reveal their purest shine. It is in moments of greatest difficulty that they discover what they are truly made of. Transforming darkness into light also means taking responsibility for their own healing. The chosen one does not wait for external circumstances to change in order to find peace. They create that peace within themselves. They do not seek to blame or get lost in resentment. They look inward with courage and ask, "What is this experience here to teach me? How can I use this to grow?" This deep and sincere gaze transforms even the most painful experiences into blessings in disguise. When a chosen one learns to transmute their shadows, they become a beacon for others. Their life becomes a testimony to the power of forgiveness, faith, and unconditional love. They prove, through their own journey, that light is always possible, even in the darkest moments. They inspire those who are still lost, showing them that by choosing to face their own shadows, they too can find the light. This is the most sublime power of the chosen ones, not only surviving the darkness but transforming it. Each challenge overcome, each pain transmuted, becomes a new source of light that illuminates the path for others. They understand that darkness is not something to be feared but something to be transformed. They do not flee from the shadows. They embrace them with love and transmute them with faith. In the end, the chosen one looks back and realizes that every shadow was, in fact, a disguised ally. Every battle was an opportunity for growth, and every pain was a portal to a higher level of wisdom and light. Darkness never had the power to destroy them. It only served to reveal the greatness of their light. The chosen ones carry with them a protection that goes beyond what the eyes can see. They are guarded by an invisible force, a shield that surrounds them and makes them untouchable to the shadows that try to approach. This shield is built by faith, strengthened by their connection to the divine, and sustained by the purity of their intentions. Faith, therefore, is more than just belief. It is an unshakable fortress that protects the chosen one's soul on their journey. Faith is like a sacred fire that never goes out, even when the winds of trials blow fiercely. When the chosen one cultivates faith, they attune to the divine frequency, where no shadow can penetrate. No matter how dense the darkness around them, the light of faith always finds a way to shine. The darkness knows this, and for this reason, it fears those who live anchored in this force. Because where there is faith, there is no fear, and where there is no fear, darkness has no power. Imagine a warrior in the midst of a storm. The sky is dark, lightning illuminates the horizon, and the winds blow violently. But he remains still, protected by an invisible shield that keeps him safe. He is not frightened by the noise of the storm, for he knows he is protected by something far greater than himself. So it is with faith for the chosen ones, a shield that guards them in the most difficult moments, that protects them when everything seems to fall apart, and that strengthens them to move forward, even when the path seems impossible. Faith is not something that is earned once and for all. It is cultivated daily like a plant that needs care, attention, and love. The chosen ones understand that their connection with the divine is a relationship that must be nurtured. Prayer, meditation, silent contemplation. These practices strengthen faith and reinforce spiritual protection. Each moment dedicated to this connection is like a stone placed in the construction of a sacred wall that separates them from negative influences. This protection does not mean that the chosen ones will never face challenges or attacks. On the contrary, challenges will come because they are part of the journey. But those who live with faith know that they do not walk alone. They feel the divine presence by their side, guiding their steps and protecting their souls. Even in moments of greatest pain or doubt, there is a silent force that sustains them and reminds them that they have been chosen for something greater. The chosen ones know that true protection does not come from the material world, but from the spiritual. They may lose possessions, face losses, or go through difficult battles, but none of this can touch the essence of who they are. The light within them remains intact because it is protected by the shield of faith. While the world around them changes, crumbles, or stirs, they remain anchored, like trees whose roots are deeply embedded in the soil. This steadfastness is the purest expression of divine protection. Spiritual practices like prayer are fundamental tools for reinforcing this protection. Prayer is not just a request, it is an intimate conversation with the divine, an opportunity to strengthen the bonds with the source that sustains them. When a chosen one prays, they create a field of light around them, an armor that repels negative energies and prevents any shadow from approaching. Prayer does not need to be complex or elaborate. It can be a simple surrender, a silence where the heart speaks what words cannot express. Meditation, in turn, is another pillar of this protection. It calms the mind, strengthens intuition, and allows the chosen one to hear the subtle voice of the divine amid the chaos of the world. It is in the silence of meditation that they find clarity, peace, and strength to face the challenges ahead. Meditation also clears the energetic field, releasing any negative influence that may have infiltrated. Moreover, the chosen ones understand the importance of energetic purification. Just as the physical body needs care, the soul also needs nurturing. Herbal baths, light visualizations, cleansing rituals, and practices of gratitude are powerful ways to keep the energy elevated and the shield of faith intact. These practices not only protect but also strengthen the connection with the divine, creating a continuous cycle of light and protection. Faith is also an act of surrender. The chosen ones understand that they do not need to carry the weight of the world alone. When they surrender their fears, doubts, and battles to the divine, they make space within themselves for light to act. Surrender is not weakness, it is trust. It is the certainty that even when they cannot see the way, there is a greater force that guides and protects them. This surrender strengthens the invisible shield that surrounds them, making them untouchable to the shadows. Darkness may try to approach, but it encounters an impenetrable barrier, for the faith of the chosen ones connects them directly to the source of all light. This is true spiritual immunity, the awareness that nothing can touch what is protected by the divine. With the shield of faith, the chosen ones become beacons in the darkness. They not only protect themselves but also illuminate the way for those who are still lost. Their presence, their peace, and their silent strength are living testimonies to the power of faith. They prove through their lives that light always wins, that darkness can never prevail where there is surrender, trust, and love. In the end, the chosen ones understand that faith is more than just protection. It is the very path. It is through it that they find strength, purpose, and clarity. It is through it that they are able to face any challenge, for they know they are never alone. The light that surrounds them is eternal, and as long as they walk with faith, nothing can divert them from their mission. The chosen ones carry within themselves a calling that sets them apart, a higher mission that pulses in their souls and echoes with every step of their journey. This calling is not imposed but awakened. It is like a silent melody that plays in the depths of the heart, and once heard, it can never be ignored. It is the call to inspire, to guide, and to serve as instruments of light in a world that often finds itself immersed in darkness. The challenges they face along the way are not random obstacles. They are part of the preparation for this mission. Each battle, each trial, each pain transformed into wisdom is a divine training that makes them ready to fulfill the purpose for which they were chosen. The mission of the chosen ones is not small. They were called to be lights in times of confusion, to be bridges between the visible and the invisible, between the material and the spiritual. They are the beacons that light the way for those still lost, trapped in the shadows of their fears, doubts, and limitations. Not because they are superior or better than others, but because they were prepared for this. They were shaped by the fire of trials, strengthened by the weight of their struggles, and purified by the love they chose to carry, even in the most difficult moments. Each challenge overcome by the chosen ones serves as a testimony. When someone observes them and sees the light they radiate, they cannot imagine the weight they carried to get there. People see the peace in their eyes, but they do not know the battles they fought in silence. They perceive the strength of their presence, but they do not know how many times they fell and got back up. This journey, marked by falls and rises, is what gives the chosen ones the spiritual authority to guide others. Their lives become living examples of what is possible when walking with faith, when choosing the light, and when answering the call with courage. Being chosen does not mean having a life free from suffering. On the contrary, suffering is part of the soul's refinement. The challenges do not exist to defeat them but to prepare them. They are like warriors in a divine training field, where every pain strengthens their spiritual muscles, where every obstacle teaches them a new lesson, and where every fall teaches them to rise with more wisdom. When the chosen one understands this, they stop resisting the challenges and begin to accept them as an essential part of their preparation. The mission of the chosen ones is not uniform. It manifests in different ways for each one. For some, it may be through healing, bringing relief and hope to those who suffer. For others, it may be through wisdom, teaching, guiding, and inspiring with words that touch the soul. Some manifest their mission through art, compassion, silent work, and even their simple yet powerful presence in a world that needs living examples of love. The mission is not limited to great deeds or grand gestures. It is revealed in every small act of light that is offered with sincerity. The chosen ones do not need to seek recognition, for their mission is not about the ego. It is about serving the greater purpose, about fulfilling the task entrusted to them even before they were born. Every time they choose love over hate, hope over despair, and truth over illusion, they are fulfilling their mission. Every time they light up a soul, even if it's just with a smile, a kind word, or an attentive ear, they are doing exactly what they were sent to do. But the mission of the chosen ones also comes with great responsibility. They cannot allow the shadows to divert them, the ego to dominate them, or doubt to paralyze them. Their light does not belong to them. It is a gift from the divine, entrusted to them to be shared. They were chosen not to hide but to shine, to touch lives, and to be instruments of transformation that the world so desperately needs. This calling is sacred, and it is up to each chosen one to answer it with humility and devotion. There are moments when the weight of this responsibility may feel overwhelming. The chosen one may question if they are up to the mission, if they are strong enough or worthy of the purpose they carry. But in those moments they must remember that they are not alone. The strength that guides them does not come from themselves, but from the divine who chose them. When they feel weak, it is the divine that sustains them. When they feel lost, it is the divine that guides them. The calling is not something they need to carry alone. It is a partnership, a dance between human will and divine grace. Answering the call of the chosen ones does not mean the journey will be easy. There will be moments of loneliness, misunderstanding, and resistance. Darkness will try in every way to divert them from their purpose. But the chosen one who remains firm, anchored in faith and truth, becomes untouchable. They become a channel through which the divine acts, bringing healing, light, and hope wherever they go. Their presence becomes a balm, an inspiration, a reminder that light always wins even in the darkest times. The chosen ones are not many, but their light is powerful enough to illuminate the entire world. They do not need to carry flags or make grand proclamations. Their very existence is the message. They live what they preach, and it is through the example of their lives that they transform the world around them. Their mission is silent but immeasurable in impact. Every person they touch, every soul they inspire, every light they help ignite is part of this great divine work. That is why the chosen ones cannot ignore the call that pulses in their hearts. They know, even if unconsciously, that they were born for something greater. When they surrender to this truth, when they accept their mission and choose to walk with faith, they become unstoppable forces. They not only illuminate their own path, but they also open doors for others to find their own light. They become the pillars of a new era where love, wisdom, and truth reign supreme. The call of the chosen ones is an invitation to transcend, to inspire, and to guide. It is a reminder that, despite the difficulties, they are not alone and never have been. They are part of something greater, a fundamental piece in the divine plan that is unfolding. Their mission is sacred, and the world needs them more than ever. The journey of the chosen ones is never static. It is a continuous path, marked by constant growth and preparation for a purpose that gradually reveals itself. They understand that spiritual awakening is not a destination, but a permanent evolution, a dance between inner discovery and actions that transform the world around them. Every step, every experience, every trial faced along this journey is a step that elevates them toward their purest essence, toward full connection with the divine. The chosen ones learn that with each stage of their journey, new challenges arise, but also new strengths manifest. Spiritual growth does not happen in comfort. It happens in the friction between light and shadow, in the courage to look within and face what still needs healing. With each challenge overcome, the soul strengthens and the light they carry expands. What once seemed insurmountable becomes a testimony of faith and perseverance, and the darkness that tested them becomes a silent ally, revealing the parts of the soul that needed attention. This continuous journey requires discipline and devotion. The chosen ones understand that they cannot rest, for the mission they carry requires constant preparation. Just as a warrior sharpens his sword every day, they must sharpen their mind, heart, and spirit. Daily meditation, sincere prayer, moments of silence, and introspection become indispensable practices that keep them aligned with the divine frequency. Each day is an opportunity for growth, an invitation to become more aware, more present, and more connected to the truth that resides within them. However, there are moments when the chosen ones may feel that they are stagnating, that the path has lost its brilliance, or that their strength is running out. It is in these moments that faith becomes even more important. The journey is not linear. It is cyclical, marked by phases of expansion and contraction, light and shadow. The spiritual winter, where everything seems silent and still, is as necessary as the spring, where everything blooms. The chosen one who understands this dynamic learns to trust the process, knowing that even moments of pause and introspection have a sacred purpose. Preparation for a higher purpose also involves the constant quest for self-knowledge. The chosen ones know that in order to illuminate the world, they must first illuminate themselves. They face their own shadows with courage, seeking to understand their weaknesses, limitations, and the patterns that still hold them back. This process is not easy, but it is liberating. Every layer of illusion that is dissolved reveals a new truth, a new strength that was hidden. The chosen one then realizes that the most important journey is the journey within, for it is there, in the silence of the heart, that they find the answers they seek. The chosen ones also learn that spiritual evolution is a path that can be solitary at times. They realize that not everyone will understand their choices, their pain, or their victories. Solitude, however, is not a punishment but a gift. It is in solitude that they hear more clearly the voice of the divine. It is in silence that they find the strength to continue. The journey of the chosen ones teaches them to appreciate their own company, to trust their intuition, and to build an intimate relationship with the sacred. They discover that they are never truly alone, for the divine presence accompanies them every step of the way. But this journey is also marked by preparation to serve. The chosen ones understand that everything they learn, everything they face and overcome, is not only for themselves. They are trained to be guides, healers, and living examples of what is possible when walking with faith, love, and courage. The world needs them even if it does not realize it. Their words, their actions, and their simple presence are like seeds that, when planted, germinate in hearts that were once dormant. The mission of the chosen ones is ongoing because the world is always in transformation. New challenges arise, new shadows appear, and the work of those who carry the light never ends. They do not fight darkness with hatred or violence. They illuminate it with love and wisdom. They understand that true transformation begins within each soul and expands like waves into the collective. The chosen one who raises their own frequency contributes to the elevation of all humanity because we are all connected. The chosen ones also know that their journey is not just about the great moments of revelation or victory. It is made of the small daily acts of love, gratitude, and devotion. Every time they choose forgiveness over resentment, every time they choose silence over an impulsive response, every time they choose truth over illusion, they are fulfilling their mission. Spiritual evolution happens in the details, in the choices that may seem small, but which have the power to change everything. Therefore, the journey of the chosen ones is a constant starting over. They never reach a final point, for growth is infinite. Every step they take reveals an even greater horizon, a deeper calling. They learn to embrace the unknown, to trust the process, and to walk with the certainty that they are exactly where they should be. What matters is not the speed with which they advance, but the constancy with which they remain faithful to the path. In the end, the chosen ones understand that their journey, in itself, is the mission. It is not about reaching a specific place, but about living each moment with presence, love, and purpose. They become living examples of the power of faith, transformation, and the light that never fades. And along this path, they inspire others to awaken, to hear the call of their own souls, and to walk toward the light as well. The journey of the chosen ones is eternal, but it is beautiful because it is marked by love, courage, and the certainty that as they walk with the divine, they are always in the right place. Throughout their entire journey, the chosen ones learn that the true purpose of their mission is not only personal illumination but the ability to become light for others. Every step taken, every battle faced, every pain transformed into wisdom creates a silent and powerful force that resonates in the world. They become living instruments of the divine, channels through which love, truth, and healing can flow to those who are still lost or asleep. The mission of the chosen ones is much deeper than words can express. They are bearers of a sacred fire, a flame that never goes out, even on the darkest nights. And this flame is not meant to be kept or hidden. It exists to illuminate. Every soul touched by the light of a chosen one carries with it the spark of transformation, like a beacon lighting up through the fog. Even if the chosen one never sees the full impact of their actions, they must trust that their presence is enough to plant seeds that will bloom in the right time. There comes a moment in the journey of the chosen ones when they realize that their light does not belong to them. It is a gift, a divine calling, a sacred responsibility that must be honored. They understand that what they carry within them is more than a simple spiritual connection. It is the manifestation of the divine frequency in the physical world. They are the instruments through which the invisible becomes visible, through which love becomes action, and wisdom becomes healing. The chosen ones know that the path is not easy, but they also know that they are not alone. They walk side by side with the divine, guided by a force that transcends any darkness. Every fall makes them more humble, every victory makes them more grateful, and every challenge prepares them for the next stage of the journey. They are shaped by the process, polished by the fire of trials, and strengthened by the faith they choose to carry. The responsibility of the chosen ones is not to carry the world on their shoulders, but to be the living reminder that light is always possible. They do not need to convince, force, or impose. Their mere presence is enough. They inspire by example, living their lives in alignment with what they believe, with the truth that resonates in their hearts. Every act of love, no matter how small it may seem, is a thread of light that weaves into the fabric of existence, creating an impact that extends far beyond what they can imagine. The world needs the chosen ones. It needs their stories, their victories, their unwavering faith. In times of confusion, fear, and disorder, it is the chosen ones who rise silently as pillars of light. They are those who remain calm in chaos, who bring hope where there is despair, who offer love where there is hatred. It is they who remind the world that even in the darkest nights, light never ceases to exist. Each chosen one is part of something greater. Though they may feel alone at many moments, they must remember that they are part of a vast network of light that connects souls around the world. Each of us, by answering the call, strengthens this network, expanding the reach of the divine frequency. Together, the chosen ones form a silent symphony that resonates throughout the universe, bringing healing, harmony, and transformation to all of creation. This is the great beauty of the mission of the chosen ones. It is not limited to the here and now. It stretches beyond time and space, creating waves that echo through generations. Every act of love, every word of wisdom, every step taken with faith contributes to the elevation of collective consciousness. And although the fruits of this work are often not visible, the chosen one trusts that everything has a purpose and that nothing is in vain. The path of the chosen ones never ends because evolution is eternal. With each level of growth achieved, a new horizon reveals itself, bringing new challenges and new learning opportunities. They learn to walk with lightness, knowing that destiny is not a final point, but a continuous process of awakening. They understand that every moment, every breath, every encounter is an opportunity to serve, to grow, and to share the light they carry. And so, the chosen ones move forward, anchored in faith, guided by truth, and strengthened by the mission entrusted to them. They do not walk to be admired or recognized. They walk because this is the call of their souls. They walk because the world needs them, because there are hearts waiting for their light, because there are souls that still need to be awakened. If you, who are listening to this message, feel something within you resonate, if you felt a spark light up in your heart, know that you too have been called. Perhaps you do not yet fully understand your purpose, but it is there, waiting for the right moment to manifest. You are important. Your light is needed. The world needs you. And now, with humility and gratitude, allow the divine frequency to guide your path. Trust the process even when you cannot see the next step. Keep your faith strong even in the storms. And remember, you are never alone. There is a greater force walking beside you, sustaining you in every moment. If this message has touched something within you, If it made sense in the deepest part of your being, I invite you to share this light. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with those who also need to hear it. Together, we can strengthen this network of light and help others awaken to the call of their souls. The world needs more light. The world needs you. Walk with courage, walk with love, and never forget that light always wins.